Hi guys, welcome to Multiverse. Today we're going to play with our friend Ultraman. Basically, I saw Crisis on Earth 1 on Earth X yesterday, so I'm still all pumped watching it. So I thought, hey, let's use our evil version of Superman. And tonight there is the next two episodes of Crisis on Earth X. So yesterday the two episodes I saw were awesome. I won't talk too much about it in case some of you guys didn't see it, but most likely tomorrow. Or maybe later tonight, we'll see. Tomorrow I'll make a video about the Crisis on Earth X crossover on the CW. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see for that. Oh yeah, the first Earth X was amazing. Basically yesterday we had the first two parts. We had Supergirl and we had Arrow. Hello, the Diamond Blade. And oh, hello, Wolf's Bay Mod. So yeah, yesterday we had the first two parts of Crisis on Earth X. The first part was Supergirl, technically the Supergirl episode, but it wasn't really a Supergirl episode. It was an episode with all the characters. Hello, Phantom Ninja. So it pretty much every episode are pretty much episodes with all the characters. Although there are some bits of the episode yesterday was a bit Supergirl centric, just as the second episode was the Arrow part of the crossover, and bits of the episode was a little Arrow centric. Like well, I was about to say a big spoiler, so but tomorrow I'll discuss the whole thing. Well, thank you, Wolfsby Mod. Not sure why it takes so long to go into the vault. There was a bit of lag earlier today when I tried. Basically, you saw it in one of the videos I made. I'd be curious to see your Johnny Quick. Oh, the Flash Boxers. But again, for those of you who missed it, you have to watch the Crisis on Earth X. It's all kinds of awesome. Basically, this year I was a bit, let's say, disappointed. That's not quite the right word, but it's all I can think of right now. I was a bit disappointed by the Flash. I thought that they were a little too much jokey. And there's one episode especially where, holy crap, they went all out in girl power. They've always been a bit girl power-ish, but there was one episode where they went full on girl power, and it was a cringe-worthy episode. And Supergirl has been very girl power this year, although Supergirl again has always been a bit girl power, but this year it's as if they doubled down or tripled down on the girl power, so it's a bit. I'm not sure what to think about it just yet. But yesterday, holy crap, it was back to being the good episodes that I remembered. It reminded me why I thought Supergirl was so good to begin with, and it reminded me why Arrow was so good to begin with also. And just a little quick, if you guys didn't see, I got a nice Crime Syndicate table. I'll probably make a video just about that. I have a few in the League Hall as well. And there's an Ultraman statue also, which is all kinds of awesome. Actually, let's go to the League Hall for a second. It'll be worth it. Oh, you made the classic Johnny Quick. I understand. Nah, I don't have any extra anything. I have 50 characters. So whenever I get anything that you would think would be extra, one of my 50 character really needs it. So whatever extra you think I have, usually I have at least a dozen characters or two who actually need those extras. Here you can see some Crime Syndicate coins. It kind of looks like Despero. Didn't realize. I'm not sure what the story is with a Despero. My Ultraman needs an Ultraman cape, which sadly is like 115 million on the broker right now. So I'm trying to gather some cash to be able to purchase. Actually, I need to purchase it twice. So I'm not sure. I'm going to spend way too much time from here to Christmas farming the broker to try to get what I need. Oh, the evil cat broke the table. He's so mean. So you can see the smaller version of the statues. And of course, I was lucky enough to get the big version of Ultraman. I could have had the big version of Superwoman, but I didn't want to spend a couple of millions just yet. And of course, I need a nice stalwart defender chest for my Ultraman character. So it's still a work in progress. Ah, you're so sweet. So let's get started with our friend Ultraman. Our friend Ultraman doesn't have an artifact just yet, so we're going to start with that and we'll work our way from there. You have all the time you want. There's no rush. We're going to go talk to our friend Constantine.
There you are.
That's good. Diggy.
Power beyond your wildest dreams. At the very least, we need to get these artifacts out of the hands of the monsters that carry them. You in or you out, mate?
Well, technically it doesn't do anything per se, or you don't notice what it does. I'll try to explain it a bit better once I get the artifact for our friend Ultraman. But roughly all it really does is that it increases your health point by like 12% or something, and it gives some extra might to your character. It doesn't do all that much.
Sure they're keeping my seat warm. Let's go.
So Diggy, at 198, you can almost play the Earth 3 DLC at basically you're gonna have to raise your combat rating to 207, and then you're going to be able to play the Earth 3 DLC. Although you can already play it in the who's in the bar? Oh, there's a whole bunch of people in the bar. I should have. There's Etrigan the Demon. There's Tala. There's there's quite a few people. Basically, there's a whole bunch of magic-related character. 215. Oh, I'm green with MD now. I think I'll stay in tank mode just for the fun of it. Hello, Fricton. Yeah, my loadout probably stinks, but it's been a while since I played with my atomic character, so I didn't really experiment with the powers all that much. So I just put together a loadout that kind of sort of works. I could switch. Let's try the other one. Basically, I'm trying to come up with a loadout that allows me to be able to cast powers and be pretty much self-sustaining. No, I think you can go to my base anytime. But it could be I didn't set up your. I think I did set up your name in one of the bases. I would have to set it up again. To set it up in all my bases. Why'd you hate my loadout? You're so mean.
The power.
Yeah, I do. I kind of like those combos. I'm not sure exactly what Clarion is supposed to be. I think it's some sort of demon, but I couldn't really tell. Is the cartoon out? I tried to look for it earlier this week and I just couldn't find it. So I wasn't sure if it was if it was out yet or not. The only information I had seen, they were mentioning like early December or something.
Our next stop is the lovely suburb of Oa. In the old days, it would have been a real trick getting across the galaxy, but now old Johnny Boy's got Sector O on speed dial. Last one there's a duffer.
I think it's coming out December 3rd or December 5th, around that time. I forget the exact date, but it's early December. I started playing in November 2011 or something like that.
The Guardians and their Green Lanterns are usually more the recycling type. They're not keen on outsiders digging through their garbage.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Won't miss.
Oh, you mean the Crisis on Two Earth? Okay, my bad. Is it December 1st? Could be. I know I mentioned it in one of my new videos, but I kind of forgot. Nah, sadly I was one of those slackers who waited for the game to be free to play before trying it out. Oh, I missed out parts of the conversation. Just give me a second. Yeah, it's Crisis on Two Earths. Five flash emblem for 7 millions. So you made a little bit of money.
Not yours. Nope. Mine and mine and mine. I can't have. Mine.
Well, they've added. I forget the name of the style they added to the vault.
No hurt, Romulus.
For Bizarro, the only thing really for a Bizarro character is the Bizarro chest piece. And I don't like it too much. I could even show it to you, just give me a second. It's basically it's a tank top. Let's go check. So it's the Bizarro tank top. Tank top. You can get it playing the iconic Bizarro mission that is Tier 5. It's the Test 2 mission. I forget the exact name of the mission. And basically the Bizarro tank top looks like that. It's a nice Bizarro emblem. Sadly, you're stuck using it with a tank top. If we could get that emblem, and if we could put it on a nice slimline suit, or even better, the Stalwart Defender's chest, that would probably be a bit better. But sadly, this is what we got. Oh, forgot to talk to our friend here.
Since you're such a fan,
Right now I'm on PS4, but sometimes I'll play on PC. Depends.
I don't want to spoil the surprise.
If there's a Savitar style, I don't know about it. There's a few styles that kind of look like Savitar. Well, yeah, right now I'm on PS4. But sometimes I can play on PC also. But lately I have more of a tendency to play on PS4. That's okay. You can be on Xbox. We'll forgive you somehow. I'm not sure what's the style is meant as the Savitar style, because there's not really an official Savitar style, at least not as far as I know. But there are a few styles that kind of look like a Savitar. But Savitar is a style that's a little challenging to reproduce. We hear a lot of rumors about Xbox. Hard to tell what is true and what is not. I'm more out of practice than I thought. Keep on messing up my combo. Honestly, Fate Corrupt, I'm not sure what style. I think I tried once to make a Savitar character, but I ended up using some style that didn't really look like Savitar, but that were as close as I could get at the time. But for an official Savitar look, I would have to look it up.
I'll finish you.
Don't wait for me. Grab it now.
Hey, I'm just trying to connect with you.
Well, this used to be my Bizarro, but I decided to switch him into Ultraman instead. And he looks much nicer than he did. Basically, I tried to make my Bizarro like a cyborg Bizarro, like a cross between Cyborg Superman and Bizarro, but I didn't really like it after all. So I gave him a makeover, and now we have the evil Ultraman. But sadly, now I need to get the Ultraman cape, which will be expensive.
If you're ever looking for something powerful,
people have been calling me crazy because basically I've been saving my DC Universe cash to try to purchase the cape, which is somewhere between 115 million and 150 million. Like 115 million or 150 million. It's somewhere between those two. Are you playing Fate Corrupt? You want to play an evil character, or do you play a hero? Right now I barely have 45 millions, so I'm not even halfway through to be able to purchase the Ultraman cape.
I hope you grab two. I want one.
So I'm gonna have to bite the bullet, and one weekend I'll have to spend a lot of time doing nothing but farming the broker, like farming for collections and playing the broker. So I do that once in a while. I did that at some point when I wanted to have the cosmic material. I farmed and I farmed and I farmed until I was able to buy it for 3 of my characters, and then I couldn't farm anymore. So I took a break, and then I farmed again later on. The Allman and Ultraman emblem are not that rare, so you should be able to get them. I wouldn't say easily, but not too. It's not too hard to get them. And if you look at the broker, they're not that expensive.
You mess with the Major, you get the Force. Ah!
Well, for iconic characters, there's a little more options on the hero side, I think. A lot of the iconic villain styles look nothing like some of the villains. At least I thought. Right now he's an evil villain. But my main character is pretty much a hero. My main character is 219, I think.
Well, mate, you collected every last
So
one
I have a
found.
lot more styles on the hero side, and I play my main hero a bit more.
I'm a right bastard, everyone knows that. Fine. Since you did so well, pick one.
Sure.
Danger. Danger.
Should we go for the tank? I'm going to cheat this time, and I'll go for the Might artifact. The Red Hood armor, you get it from one of the vendors in the Hall of Doom or in the Watchtower. I can show you the one in the Hall of Doom. And I can show it to you right now, as soon as we're done loading. Basically, you have to go past the tech wing. It's the same in the Watchtower. In the Watchtower, you have to go past the tech wing, and you're going to see a handful of little robots. One of them is selling the Red Hood style. I forget which one. Let's try this one. I can't. I won't be able to show you because my character is not high level enough. But basically, one of those robots is the one selling the Red Hood style. So that's where you can get the official Red Hood armor. The same in the Watchtower. In the Watchtower, past the tech wing, there is the hangar, I think. And in the hangar, you have those little robots and one of them will sell you the Red Hood style. But you need to have the appropriate combat rating. I forget what the actual combat rating is. It's probably something like 160 or 130. Yeah, I forget.
Bollocks. Do I
It's been a
look like your
while.
mum? What are you going on about?
So now that we have our artifact, let's upgrade it a bit. And let's fortify.
Mate, it needs the proper motivation to go on. What you need is a very special sort
And once we do that, 160, oh, that's good. Yeah, that sounds about right.
You can really
So now
give your
our friend
artifact
Constantine gave us 2 Electrum. So let's go back to Artifact. And let's break through rank 20. At this time, we have 100% chance of success, so we don't need any seals of preservation. And our friend Constantine will give us our very first seal in just a minute.
grow in power. They yearn for it, and they're always hungry. If you feed them the right things,
You have to
they'll
upgrade
stop.
your gear. It's pretty much that
These
simple.
little beasties are things like sunseekers and
Depending on your combat rating, sometimes the raid will give the better gear, sometimes the vendor will give the better gear. So depending on your combat rating, either you should play, you could play raid in order hoping to get gear, or you could purchase the gear from the vendors. Which mission are hard? Let's use our little vault ticket. At 149, I think we already had the scale gear at the time, or was that before the scale gear? At 149, I think the raid could be the better option, but it's been a while, so I could be mistaken. Compare, basically, you're gonna play the raid anyways, I assume. So once you play the raid, whatever gear you get from the raid, compare it with the gear that you can get from the vendor at that time. And it'll tell you if the better option is to farm the raid or just to purchase the vendor gear. It's been a while since I was 149, so I forget a bit. The evil vault. Ideally, you want to do the vault with dual pistols. With brawling, that's probably the worst option to do the vault. But sadly, you use what you use. So since your legendary expired, I guess you didn't profit from the sale there was. There was like a 30% sale for the subscriptions. Oh, we already had the boxers. I'm so sad now. So let's boost our artifact a bit more. No, you can purchase any piece any way you want. If you want to purchase the chest first, you purchase the chest. If you want to purchase the feet, you purchase the feet. Ideally, you want to go for the item that you need to upgrade the most. So as you can see, we got our first seal of preservation. Ideally, you look at your gear and you look at what's most needed. Like right now, if I was to purchase a new piece of gear, I would probably go for the utility belt. That's my worst piece of gear. So usually that's what I do, but you can do it any way you want. You only got 15 days? That sounds strange. I would write a ticket. If you really you got your legendary only for 15 days, I would write a ticket about that. And let's go play. We're going to switch phase, otherwise we're going to be in trouble. But yeah, if it really gave you only 15 days, write a ticket. You should have had, at the very least, subscriptions are 1 month. There's 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, and a full year, if I remember correctly. So if it only gave you 15 days, it should have given you more. So let's take a whole bunch. Oh, wrong guy.
Maybe one of these days we'll be free of all these super-powered monsters.
It cracks me up seeing Officer Snart all the time.
We need the crime syndicate's encryption codes. Coordinates to the
I forget what the... Basically, you have to go to the support page and write them a ticket from there. If you go to the DC Universe online website, there you should have a tab called support or something like that, and you should be able to contact them from there.
We're going to clean up this.
So here there's a whole bunch of missions that we can do when we get started with our little character. Some of those missions, like these little guys here, they're only once a week.
All this help you're doing is gonna get you in trouble.
Sometimes it can take a while for them to reply. It's been a long time since I had to deal with support in DC Universe Online. I know that at some point, apparently they changed a lot of their policies. I'm not sure exactly how it works right now. Again, it's been a long time since I had to deal with the support on DC Universe Online. You mean cosplay them in real life? I don't cosplay. My cosplay days are way behind me. I used to eons ago. Basically, for a long time, I would play live role-playing games. and even many time I had to play a dragon in one of our games. So we made various dragon costumes, and if I say so myself, I had to admit I was a sexy dragon. But that was like many years ago. At some point, I did get a Superman costume for Halloween. I thought it would be kind of neat to have such a costume, and I used it for about at least 10 years. I didn't use it every year or every time, but and it was funny to see people's reaction whenever I would use my costume. Those were the days when I was a young, foolish fool.
All this help? You haven't changed anything. This election is getting handed out.
You don't know who you're messing with, do you?
1033. Request assistance.
Call an ambulance! Protection won't cover this!
So as you can see right now, I have a truckload of missions to do.
This is now a crime scene.
The fastest way to increase your combat rating? It depends, but it's kind of hard to explain. I will try. Give me a half a second. I have like 50 characters, so I'll play characters depending on which characters I feel like playing. So one day I'll play a couple of characters, the other day I'll play a couple other characters, and there are some characters that I play only on special occasions. It's a case by case. Basically, to increase your combat rating, there are certain key missions that could help you increase it a bit faster. At level 1, there's no miracle. You play the level 1 missions, and you hope to get lucky with gear. And you should be able to get to tier 2 very quickly. I'm not sure about the shielded robot legs. I would have to look it up. But once you reach tier 2, the main mission you should play is the Gotham Warehouse. That mission alone gives you like 5 pieces of gear. So if you're lucky and if you get 5 different pieces of gear, it could be enough to propel you to tier 3 right away. And once you reach tier 3... the old Gotham subway at tier 3 is a good option, or the police station is the better option. Again, the police station you can get 4 or 5 pieces of gear if you're lucky, because there's like 5 bosses in that mission alone. And then once you reach combat rating, and once you reach tier 4, then ideally if you play the duos, those should help you go up in level and combat rating quite a bit. And once you reach tier 5, obviously you have to start with the hunt and test subject number 1. For those who were asking, test subject number 1 is where you can get the Bizarro tank top that I showed earlier. But basically there's not a miracle option to be able to increase your combat rating. But if you look at my Doctor Strange character, I was able to go from level 30 to combat rating 62 or 65 in like just a couple of hours. So that would be a great example of how to increase your combat rating fairly quickly. For the shield robot legs, I would have to look it up. Off the top of my head, I have no idea. It depends. There's quite a few that I find fun. Basically, one of the things that I really enjoy about the game is playing the missions from level 1 to level 30. Which is why I have so many alternate characters. Basically, at some point I was a little sick of farming endgame missions. So I was getting a little burnt out from playing this universe online, from playing those missions. So I started creating characters, and obviously with those new characters, I was playing the missions from level 1 to level 30, and it reminded me why I thought this universe online is a fun game. I had quite because by the time I was tier 5, at the time, sadly I was stuck having to grind and grind and grind, trying to upgrade my mods, trying to upgrade my gear, so that I would be able to do the end game mission with other people, and that wasn't very fun. So when I created new characters, and I started playing the missions from level 1 to level 30 once more, it reminded me why I had fun playing this universe online. And that's why now I have so many alternate characters. Hello, Big Bad Wolf. In the past, I would create and delete and create and delete characters all the time. But once we had Origin Crisis, I started more and more to keep the alternate characters that I would create. So instead of deleting all the characters I had, I would keep them and I would keep on playing them, which is how I ended up with a mess with way too many characters. But it allows me to not be in a rush. I play whatever characters I feel like playing, and I play whatever missions I feel like playing. Once in a while, I'll play missions that I don't really want to play in order to get some specific gear or in order to make a specific video. But as a rule of thumb, I try to have fun. Which is basically that's why I'm playing games, and that's why I started playing this universe online. I had fun playing the game, so I kept on playing it. But it was very easy to fall into the trap of people who almost treat playing a game like it's a second job. The artifacts aren't so bad. Technically, they don't. For those who were asking, they don't really do anything per se, other than in this case, this one is adding health and might to my character, and he's adding also 1% health. And if you look, once the artifact will reach rank 40, it will give more power, and it will give 2% health. Once I reach combat rank 60, it will give 1% might, and at rank 80, it will give extra health, extra power, and it will give also the might of Urgrund, which whenever a superpower will hit an enemy, it will grant extra might to everyone in the group. So basically, you just equip the artifact, and you don't really have to worry about it anymore afterwards. In this case, as I use my powers, it should give a boost of might to not just my character, but everyone in the group. Obviously, I'm the only one in the group right now, but you know what I mean. So if I play in a group at some point, I could increase the might of everyone in the group. There's some other artifacts that they give a bit of extra health to everyone. So depending on the artifact you have, it will give you some various benefit. But basically, you don't really have to do anything. You just play your character, and the artifact will do what it's supposed to do. So you don't need to activate the artifact. It's just in some cases, you may need to activate a power to trigger the effect that the artifact is supposed to do. But that's pretty much it. They're pretty much passive artifacts right now. But it gave them one more thing that people would grind for. And of course, they're selling a few components for the artifacts on the marketplace. So I guess they're seeing that as one more way to be able to monetize those items. I don't think you should expect any kind of tournament. It's been a long time since they stopped doing that. Yes, I did see the Justice League film. I even made a video about it. If you really want to know what I thought, I go into detail about what I thought about the film. But overall, I didn't like it very much. Roughly for each bit that I thought was fun about the film, there was like two or three things that I didn't like very much about the film. So I wasn't very surprised when I saw. Last I checked, it was like at 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I'm not really surprised by that, and I'm not really surprised also that it dropped like 50% and on its second weekend, despite being a Thanksgiving weekend, which is let's say it's not good. I hope you liked it. It would have been bad to see a bad film for your birthday. There were a few good bits. Like it was nice. It was fun to see Batman again. The Ben Affleck as Batman was one of the good things. But there were so many things. All the visual effects. I would cringe whenever I would see some visual effects.
Appreciate it, but
No, I don't have the Ultraman cape just yet. It's something that I want to farm for. Basically, I'm trying to save my DC Universe cash to be able to purchase the Ultraman cape on the broker, but right now it's like 115 million or more. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of farming before I can purchase it from the broker, unless the prices go down at some point, or unless I play the. Basically, from what I understand, you can get the cape from the elite version of the Panopticon mission. So, but it's a rare item. So if I play the Panopticon mission and manage to get the cape, I'll be very happy. But I suspect that I'm gonna have to play the broker and play the broker and play the broker until I can finally buy it on the broker. There's a few tricks. Yeah, finding people to do raid is challenging to say the least. How can you get into good group? That's the luck of the draw. Basically, you queue for a mission and you hope to get a good group. The only way to really get a good group would be to play with people you know, and even then that's no guarantee. Like I had a few friends who were playing this universe online, and we had fun playing together. It was fun playing with them, but they were not very good players. So we playing group missions was a bit challenging sometimes. Although even though they weren't very good, playing group missions with them was often easier than playing with random people. I'm not sure about the fan thing for the Justice League film, but roughly the suits, let's say that at DC and Warner, they don't like the material. They don't even like their own material, their own characters, and they don't have much faith in them. So they try to transform them into something else, and we saw the result. The 1966 Batman is all kinds of awesome. No. If you fortify artifacts, I'm going to answer that right now. Let's assume that I would have an artifact that I could use to fortify my little artifact here. Basically, all it does is that it consumes the artifact and it gives about half the half the experience that your artifact has. That's what you give to your new artifact. So if I had, let's say this was an artifact that had, I don't know, 20,000 experience. If I would consume it for my current artifact, it would give him only like 10,000 experience to that artifact. Oh, you watch the movie. The movie. Well, there's the 1966 movie and there's the series also, and there were all kinds of awesome. At the time, that was the closest version of Batman we had on screen. And I know that the best season is probably the first one because it wasn't quite as campy. With the second and was there a third season? And with the following seasons, they went way crazy with the campy part.
You haven't changed anything.
So the first season wasn't quite as campy and it was as close to the comic book as we had ever seen. No, he has atomic. This is atomic powers. I know that some people are using Earth to mimic super strength, but somehow atomic powers made sense with that evil version of Superman. Yes, this is PS4. So again, just to get back to the artifact for 1 second, if you consume the lower artifact, all it does really is that it gives to the higher artifact about half the experience points that the lower artifact has, and it consumes the lower artifact. So you don't really want to do that unless unless you want to get rid of your lower artifact. Now you cannot buy the Nightwing Eskrima stick from the broker. You have to buy them from there's a PvP vendor. The PvP vendors basically sell the Eskrima sticks, but you have to have the appropriate combat rating in order to be able to not just purchase it, but in order to be able to even see it in the broker, in the vendor. Sorry. Well, I made a video. If you look, I made a video with all my PS4 characters. When I get the chance, I'll with all my PS4 heroes. When I get the chance, I'll make a video with all my PS4 villains, and I'll do the same with my PC characters. Now, Ultraman has a red cape, but sadly, I don't have it just yet. I usually keep my exhibits to make mods. And yeah, it's worth it for the membership. But basically, you can just, I'd say, give it a try. Try it for 1 month. It'll be $15, and you'll know. You'll be set. You'll know if you like it or not. And the odds are, if you're like me, you'll be addicted and you'll never stop playing ever again.
No problem mugging you too.
But for exhibits, I keep them to create mods. The issue I had was not really exhibits. Basically, at some point, I was running out of complex material and simple material to be able to craft my mods. I have to agree with you, Big Bad Wolf. As for Ultraman and Allman, it's hard to tell. I would say Ultraman, but the thing is, Ultraman is not vulnerable to Kryptonite like Superman. It's quite the opposite. Kryptonite actually makes him stronger. So normally Batman can defeat Superman using Kryptonite. But I'm not sure what can Allman use. Allman cannot use Kryptonite because Kryptonite makes Ultraman stronger. There might be something else he can use that I'm not aware of or that I can think of right now. Well, I always strongly be tempted to think that seeing how Kryptonite makes Ultraman stronger, Allman cannot use it against him, I would say Ultraman is a bit more powerful than Allman right now. I see a little... oh, there it is. But yeah, I have to agree with you. It's my favorite MMO too. It's quite different from the other MMOs, which is one of the reasons why I love this game so much.
I appreciate it, but we better not be.
But just look at that. Just being able to fly. There's no other MMO that allows me to do that. Even in Star Wars Battlefront 2, I was able to use Boba Fett, and I was able to use his jetpack to glide a bit. But it doesn't compare to just being able to look around, fly, look at the smog. Look at the smog on Earth 3 Gotham. Come on. It's all 10 kinds of awesome. And of course, usually there's Ultraman somewhere here. I guess he's on vacation today. I don't think I love the Crime Syndicate, but mass audience, I have no idea who those characters are. Although I guess it would be simple enough to explain to them that it's an evil Batman, an evil Superman, and an evil Wonder Woman. But I suspect that well, we saw it at the end of the spoiler alert. If you didn't see the Justice League film, just go la 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 for a few seconds. We saw it at the end of the Justice League film where oh yeah, we saw it at the end of the Justice League film where they're going to go basically for the unjust Injustice League with basically the most probably the most known enemies that the various Justice League members have. So they would probably go with obviously Lex Luthor for Superman. For Batman, ironically enough, instead of going with Joker, they seems to be going with Deathstroke. I suspect Flash, they would use someone like Gorilla Grodd, or maybe Captain Boomerang. We did see Boomerang in Suicide Squad. He's atomic because, I don't know, he's evil. I thought it kind of worked with the character. But yeah, Big Bad Wolf, it does bring the kid in us all. They made a few differences in the Flash. Basically, Earth 2 is Earth 3, if it makes any sense. I guess they were trying to be different somehow, which sadly happens more often than not. So instead of following Earth 1 is the Flash of the Earth, and Earth 2 is the Jay Garrick Flash, and Earth 3 is another Earth, is let's say the Earth of the Crime Syndicate. They went with Earth 1, again, it was the Earth of the Barry Allen Flash, but then Earth 2, they made it into a sort of mixture of Earth 2 because it did have Jay Garrick, but they also made it Earth 3 where they had the evil version of the characters, like they had the evil version of Cisco, the evil version of Caitlyn. So they, in the Flash TV show, they sort of made Earth 2 an odd mixture of Earth 2 and Earth 3. So when they obviously when the time came to actually have Earth 3 in the Flash TV show, it could not be the Crime Syndicate Earth because technically that was Earth 2. So they had to make their Earth 3 different. Well, I would probably make an armory with only iconic powers, or I toyed with the idea of giving him iconic powers. Like I could probably do it with the DPS. Let's see. Let's give him heat vision here, airburst here, whirlwind attack, And freeze breath here. I guess I could make an armory like this.
I have no problem mugging you too.
But I thought playing I thought playing Atomic could be fun instead. Yes, the TV Girl mini TV series is in the multiverse of the Flash. Uh, I used to love the CW series. Although last year I thought Supergirl especially towards the end of the season, I thought they were going a little they were trying a little too hard with the girl power thing. But I thought, it's just for the last couple of episodes, not a big deal. But then this year they pretty much doubled down on that, so I was a bit sad and a bit disappointed, I guess. But also, now you can tell that they were probably trying to save some of their budget for the Crisis on Earth X crossover, because like even Supergirl, they had like one episode where there was like young Supergirl with her young sister, and I think Supergirl was like in the show for 3 seconds. So, and also the Flash this year was trying a little too hard to be jokey. So I was a bit, it was a bit strange. But then with the Crisis on Earth X crossover, it's everything that those shows are when they are at their best. So I'm very happy right now about the CW shows. But I wish they would stay away from like, I understand they're trying to push the girl power angle a bit, but I hope they don't go overboard with that too much. The best for a movie? That's hard to tell. Oh, I have a lot of advice. Basically, I have a lot of videos when you reach level 30, because I understand once you reach level 30, I can understand that it's a bit confusing at first. Because there's a lot of vendors, you're not sure exactly which vendor sells what. So I have a few videos about that. I have a few videos where I explain what each vendor is selling. So that could be a good idea. And also I have a few videos where I specifically name those videos like let's say Batman Beyond reaches level 30 or something like that, or starts level 30. So those could help you out to get started at level 30. But if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section of my videos. Usually I try to answer all the questions people have. For CW doing a Batman show, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Don't forget that there's the Gotham TV show, which seems to be somewhat popular. So I strongly doubt they would make a Batman TV show in the cartoon in the CW universe. Yeah, the leather, but sadly the leather is their way to try to be realistic with their costumes. So I don't think they're going to get rid of their leather anytime soon. But Scarecrow, don't hesitate to ask questions in the comment section of my videos, and I'll see what I can do about answering whatever questions you may have. But roughly, what you could do again is look at some of the videos of characters that I have that have just reached level 30, and it's going to give you an idea of which vendor you're going to need to buy stuff from. The part 2 was Arrow. That was the Arrow episode. Part 1 was the Supergirl episode. Part 2 was the Arrow episode. Part 3 is going to be the Flash episode. And Part 4 will be the Legends of Tomorrow episode.
The team's been shaken up by what they've witnessed. Batman focuses his rage on Gotham and taking down Owlman and this evil James Gordon. On the other hand, Diana's heart goes out to all this world's innocents, even the most ungrateful ones. She holds a candle of hope no matter how dark the situation seems.
Thanks to you, Gordon's hold on this city is slipping away.
You've brought peace and inspiration to people who desperately need it. Stand tall and be proud.
So let's see.
Killer Frost just called in for society backup from the tap room. I'm alerting Lex Luthor. If what's happening in Gotham is what I think it is, Lex is gonna want in. Talk to Frost in the nightclub, and Lex will tap you when you're on site.
But overall, I love the CW show. But sometimes I think they go a little too overboard with. Sometimes they go a little too overboard with their teen drama, but that's been from the start. Basically, they're aiming those TV shows at teens. So teen drama, sadly, is something we have to accept with those TV shows. But usually there's enough action adventure, enough superhero stuff, so that you, even if you have to suffer through the teen drama, the rest of the stuff is pretty good. But this year, some of the shows have been going a little too far, as I mentioned, into the girl power aspect, or a little too far into the teen drama itself. But I'm glad that yesterday we got some really good episodes that went back to the action adventure bits of the show. That is so fun about those series. For the Batman Beyond Armor, you don't have to play a mission. The Batman Beyond Armor comes from the Gotham time capsules. Right now, the Gotham time capsules can only be purchased on the broker. And you can also purchase the Batman Beyond gear on the broker as well. I think I'm going to switch to tank. So if you want the Batman Beyond gear, sadly you're going to have to purchase it from the broker. When I started playing this universe online, like pretty much everyone, I was only playing DPS. There's a few reasons for that. Basically, the game pretty much teaches you to play as a DPS. When you start playing, all you play is as a DPS, and all the gear you get is DPS gear. So even though at level 10, technically you can play a role, all the gear you get is DPS gear. So by default, I was playing DPS for a long time. And also, there's I would tweak the costumes too in the Arrowverse. Hello, Video Central. So, but basically, when I started playing, also I was playing a gadget character, and at the time I remember I was trying sometimes to play as a controller, but a lot of people were giving me some advice that were not very good advice. So I was struggling with people were not really being helpful when they were trying to give me advice to play as a controller, and also I found that playing gadget as a controller was a bit more challenging than the other powers, because as soon as I started playing much later, I played gadget for about a year, so a year and a half. So for a year and a half, I played nothing but DPS. And then at some point, I created a new Green Lantern character to play with some of my friends. And later on, I created a Magneto character. And with those characters, I was able to learn how to play as a controller. And it was much easier to play a controller with those characters. And it was even much easier to play controller with my Magneto character that was using mental powers than with a Green Lantern character. So basically, I had to find the right power to be able to learn how to play as a controller. And also the power I was using, the very first power I was using, it wasn't it wasn't the right power for me. So I was struggling a bit early on. But then once I started playing as a controller, I pretty much always play as a controller or as a role. The only time I play as a DPS is if I play solo or if someone asks me to play as a DPS. But as a rule of thumb, I'll try to play a role. And yes, I did watch the Crisis on Earth X crossover. I talked a bit about that earlier. But it was so good. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil it for people who didn't see it just yet. But tomorrow I will make a video about the whole crossover. Tonight we're going to watch the second part of the crossover, which is the Flash episode and the Legends of Tomorrow episode. And maybe later tonight, but probably tomorrow, then I'll make a video about the whole Crisis on Earth X crossover. No, the auras, originally the auras were in booster bundles, and then they've added those in time capsules. There are a few auras that you can purchase from the marketplace, and I forget what else. But as far as I know, I don't remember if there's missions that actually give auras. If you look on the marketplace, now I'm not going to spoil. I'll make a video tomorrow about that, and I'll talk about that in detail. So if you want to know more, if you go into style items, if I'm not mistaken, as you can see, there's an aura pack 1. This one has the white aura, the purple plasmic aura, the dark blue smoke aura, and the purple nimbus aura. And if we look, there's an aura pack 2, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, am I mistaken? Oh, there it is. And there's an aura pack 2 with black vapor aura, purple vapor, orange vapor, and red vapor. And of course, there's a whole bunch of other auras. Like there's some slink aura, some slim auras, and some regular auras that you can purchase. As you can see, there's like $4.50 each. Although there's some like at $2.70. And of course, there was the weekend. During the weekend, there was the big sale. So if you go to the marketplace when there's a big sale, you should be able to get some auras for fairly cheap. Or you can purchase some on the broker. Depending on the aura, there are some that are pretty cheap, but sadly there are some that are way expensive. Oh, then you have a lot of catching up to do then, Dragon. I guess I will finish the 303 some other time. So let's go talk to our friend Cyborg before I forget. There it is.
They're using encryption technology unlike anything I've seen back home. It was counterintuitive.
And let's see what's in the box. Yeah, you get auras sometimes from special event. That's true. Let's go for this one. Actually, this character probably has a few. Let's go here. Like there's a few auras, like the Ghost Aura I purchased in the marketplace for Halloween. But there's the Seafoam Aura. They gave us the Seafoam Aura last summer for basically the launch of the water power. There was this countdown to water, and they gave a few prizes along the way, and the Seafoam Aura was one of those. Oh, and that's the only ones I can think of right now. Well, let's go to the Hall of Doom for just a minute. Like basically, some of you guys asked about the Ultraman cape. Let's go take a look because we can. Let's tweak my colors a bit. Let's try that. So if you go to the broker, from what I understand, you're supposed to be able to get the Ultraman cape if you play the elite version of the Panopticon mission. So all the way down there. So supposedly, if you play this version of the mission, you have a chance that Ultraman will drop the Ultraman cape. But apparently it's a rare item, so that means you're gonna have to play the mission quite a lot in order to be able to get the cape. The other solution is to try to buy it from the broker, but last I checked, it was very expensive. It's a little less expensive than yesterday, but as like right now, you can see the cheapest one is $105 million for the cape, and here the most expensive one is 155 millions. I'm a member. I've been a member. I played for about a month. I played for like a week as a free-to-play player. Then I was a premium player for about a month. And after that, I became a member, and I've been a member ever since. And for those who were asking, you can get the Ultraman emblem for about 450,000. Actually, there's one at 225,000. I know it may seem like a lot of money. The best Batman gadget? Come on, it has to be the Batarang. Oh yeah, and I forgot the Ultraman cape. I wanted to show it off to you. Take two. Oh, the color. Oh, I got the wrong colors. I'm so sad now. But it gives you an idea of how awesome the cape is. But as you can see, it is very expensive. Oh, sorry, Dan Dragon. We have someone who almost has the Johnny Quick style. Oh, lucky you going on vacation. Do I have an alternative for what? Oh, that's a weird looking one. You mean alternative characters or? No, but right, what I have right now is pretty much the only option I have. Because basically for capes, you have like the cape I have right now. You have possibly the Superman cape, which sadly you have to be a hero to have, unless you get it from Prometheum lockboxes. And there's the Ultraman cape that I just showed you. So that the alternative to the Ultraman cape right now is the cape that I'm wearing right now. I guess I could wear the classic cape. I don't even know if I have it. Do I have the classic cape? Oh yeah, I do. Come on, come on. So these are pretty much sadly the alternatives I have to the Ultraman cape right now. Yeah, I guess the round cape could work, but if I had to use a cape, I wouldn't use a round cape. I would use either this one or I would use the one that I'm using, or this one. So I think that's going to be it for now, guys. Unless some of you guys have some specific questions, I think we're going to call it a night. I want to be able to grab a bite before we get the awesome second part of the Crisis on Earth X crossover. Ooh, almost to rank 40 already. So if you guys don't have any questions, that's going to be it for tonight. Some of you guys have been asking for questions about the artifact, so I'll try to make a couple of artifacts video when I get the chance. Also, some of you have been asking about videos about the various roles, controllers, and all that good stuff. I'll see what I can do about for the Amazon Fury Teleporter. I think it's 100, but I'm not sure about that. I believe it's 100. Let's try it out. It doesn't say, but I'm pretty confident it's 100 combat rating that you need. Hello, Tim Drake of DCUO. Sadly, we're done for today. But tomorrow we'll log in at 5, and tomorrow also I'll make a video about the. Oh, I have so many videos that I have to make. It's crazy. So tomorrow I'll try to make a video about the Crisis on Earth X. And I'll try to see if I can do at least a few videos about either the artifacts or about the various roles like a controller. Some of you guys have been asking specifically about maybe gadget controller, so that will probably be the next one that I'll try to make. So that's going to be it for now, guys. So as always, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.